Hi guys, so as you may have seen on Instagram, the M2 is now up for sale. So I thought I'd do a little bit of a video to see why I put it up for sale and the reasons behind it, but also look back at the last 3 months of ownership. So let's get to it. You all know I adore the M2 and I wouldn't let it go unless I really had to. I've had some fantastic memories with it over the last 3 months and a lot of smiles. I love driving it, and I think out of any other normal road car, the M2 is what I'd want to go for anyway. So I'm really happy and really lucky that I have had the opportunity to own one and play with one for the last 3 months. But it's just life's taken it in a different direction. That the M2 is actually a really expensive car to run. So the first reason why I'm looking at selling is I recently changed jobs back in about November time from a university student to a digital accounts manager. So that job change, even though I'm technically still classed and enrolled as a student, I'm all right at the moment, but when that does end, the insurance has decided to triple. And when I say triple, I mean over £2,000. So I looked around at different cars just to see whether it was all cars that have changed due to the job, but unfortunately it is only the M2. So things like my old Lotus stayed about the same. Even an £80,000 Porsche GT4 is only £800 to insure. So for whatever reason with the M2, whether it's because a lot of young people get them and try drifting around roundabouts and crash them, the M2 is just a high insurance bracket, unfortunately, and that was the thing that started getting me looking, because I couldn't justify spending £2,000 every year minimum on insurance, especially when there's things like the £500 tax every year because it's an 18 plate. There is obviously the tyres. Everyone knows M-car tyres are expensive, especially because they are run flats, and things like brakes, etc. as well. All things I took into account when I bought the car. But since that extra insurance change, it is just taking it over that limit for me. So that was the reason that got me looking. Also, with the channel going places it is, and also with work, I am all over the country now. So anywhere from up in Scotland, across west to Gloucester, down south to Silverstone, I'm here, there and everywhere, and with it being such a low mileage car and also fuel costs as well, it's becoming a little bit more expensive to use and put all those miles on. So something like a little daily that I'm looking at, something £1,000, just nice and cheap, will fit the bill perfectly, because it means I can just bang the miles on it, not care, it's cheap to maintain, and hopefully do the job, whilst then I can get a little weekend car. Call this a long-term ownership review because I've literally owned it 3 months, but as an actual ownership review rather than this is an M2 review, I can't really fault it. I mean, the suspension can be a little bit tough in Sports Plus mode, but you can put it into comfort and you've got a really comfortable journey there for you. Long distances, it is so comfortable. You've got all the technology. The Apple CarPlay is fantastic. The whole dash here, especially with the LCI, so you've got the upgraded dash, that is a must for me. I didn't quite like the old orange dash. Steering input's great. It's heavier than some of the competitors like a Golf R or an S3, RS3. And I think out of all the normal performance cars, the M2 is the one to go for, because it is that bit more driving focus, involved. The rear wheel drive is fantastic. So yes, it spins up in the dry. If you put too much power down in the wet, you will have a wheel spin. But it's something you learn to adapt to, especially with the DCT box being the way it is. You have to really learn how to be gentle with that throttle when you're trying to move the car. But that's just adaptation. It's nothing wrong with the car at all. And if I could have the car I'm thinking of and this as a daily and be able to afford to have this as a daily, I'd be a very happy person. So on to things like normal ownership, miles per gallon. On a long run I could get 32. On an average run it'd be more like 22. Isn't terrible. I mean, £70 worth of fuel would get me about 250, maybe 300 miles at a stretch, which when you're doing a lot of commuting isn't ideal, but it was fun. It's miles per gallon, not miles per gallon. That's all I can really suggest on that one. But that is the thing with the M2. It does make you smile. Like that. I've only really given you 2 reasons why I'm selling the M2, and the first one was obviously insurance, the second one being that I'm doing a lot of commuting now, so I'm a little bit hesitant to put all the miles on this. So reason number 3 is something I'm going to keep under wraps a little bit because I don't want to give too much away, and also I'm not 100% sure what I'm doing yet until this sells, but it's just kind of missing that little something for me that, if you know my history with cars and the brands that I do adore, it's just not as involving as some of the proper British track cars that I like, and I do miss that. I miss the manual aspect. I think a lot of people did say to me, Becca, if you go automatic, you're going to end up going back to manual because you'll miss it. The DCT box is the best of all the automatics, don't get me wrong, it's absolutely amazing, and for a daily car I'd love it, but I need that involvement in driving, and I think the car that I go for next will have that again. But I am going to really miss this. I will get quite sad because it was one of the bucket list cars. I've always said my 3-car garage is a Lotus of some kind, an M2 and a Porsche GT3, so I feel very honoured and very, very fortunate to have owned one of these, even if it's only for 3 months, but I will be sad when it goes because I've had a lot of memories with this car. So yeah, I will miss it. I will. Yeah, there we have it. There's my 3 reasons why the M2 is up for sale. And also a little bit of a ownership review, I guess. But if you're interested in it, guys, I'll put the eBay link down below. I really hope it goes to a good home and that I'll have someone that loves it and looks after it as much as I have. But for now, you guys know the drill. To make my journey your journey, like, follow, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye!